really relaxed man will make you relaxed. A tense man will make you tense. With a man who lives naturally, you will feel that you are at home. He will not force you in any way. He will not try to change you in any way. He will accept you. He will be accepting. Through his acceptance, you can learn acceptance. And if you can accept yourself, nature takes over. And once nature takes over, the ocean is not very far. The river is constantly flowing toward it. A wise man lives moment to moment, never planning. Only ignorant people plan, and when ignorant people plan, what can they plan? They plan out of their ignorance. Unplanned, they would have been better, because out of ignorance, only ignorance arises. Out of confusion, only greater confusion is born. A wise man lives moment to moment. He has no planning. His life is just free like a cloud floating in the sky, not going to some goal, not determined. He has no map for the future. He lives without a map. He moves without a map. Because the real thing is not the goal. The real thing is the beauty of the movement. The real thing is not reaching. The real thing is the journey. Remember, the real thing is the journey, the very traveling. It is so beautiful, why bother about the goal? And if you are too bothered about the goal, you will miss the journey. And the journey is life. The goal can only be death. The journey is life, and it is an infinite journey. You've been on the move from the very beginning, if there was any beginning. Those who know say there was no beginning, so from no beginning you have been on the move. To the no end, you will be on the move. And if you are goal-oriented, you will miss it. The whole is the journey, the path, the endless path. Never beginning, never ending. There is really no goal. Goal is created by the cunning mind. Where is this whole existence moving? Where? It is not going anywhere. It is simply going, and the going is so beautiful. That is why existence is unburdened. There is no plan, no goal, no purpose. It is not a business, it is a play, a lila. Every moment is the goal. Perfect wisdom is unplanned. Perfect love is without demonstrations. Demonstration is needed because love is not there. And the less love there is, the more you demonstrate. When it is there, you don't demonstrate. Whenever a husband comes home with a present for his wife, she will know that something is wrong. He must have stepped out of line. He must have met another woman. Now this is the explanation. This is a substitute. Otherwise, love is such a present that no other present is needed. Not that love will not give presents, but love itself is such a present. What else can you give? What else is possible? But whenever the husband feels that something is wrong, he has to put it right. Everything has to be rearranged, balanced, and this is the problem. Women are so intuitive that they know immediately. Your present cannot deceive them. It is impossible because women still live with their intuition, with their illogical mind. They immediately jump, and they will understand that something has gone wrong. Otherwise, why this present? Whenever you demonstrate your inner poverty. If your sannyas becomes a demonstration, you are not a sannyasin, renunciate. That's an Indian word for renunciate. If your meditation becomes a demonstration, you are not meditative, because whenever the real exists, it is such a light that there is no need to demonstrate it. When your house is lighted, when there is a flame, you need not go to the neighbors and tell them, "Look, our house has got a lamp." It is there. But when your house is in darkness, you try to convince your neighbors that light is there. Convincing them, you try to convince yourself. This is the reason why you want to demonstrate. If the other is convinced, his conviction, her conviction, will help you to be convinced. Perfect sincerity offers no guarantee. All guarantees are because of insincerity. You guarantee, you promise, you say, "This is the guarantee, I will do this." While you are giving the guarantee, at that very moment the insincerity is there. Perfect sincerity offers no guarantee, because perfect sincerity is so aware of many things. First, the future is unknown. How can you make a guarantee? Life changes every moment. How can you promise? All guarantee, all promising, can be only for this moment, not for the next. For the next moment, nothing can be done. You will have to wait. If you are really sincere and love a woman, you cannot say, "I will love you for my whole life." If you say this, you are a liar. This guarantee is false. But if you love, this moment is enough. The woman will not ask for your whole life. This moment, if love is there, it is so fulfilling that one moment is enough for many lives. A single moment of love is eternity. She will not ask. But now she is asking, because this moment there is no love. So she asks, what is the guarantee? Will you love me always? This moment there is no love, and she is asking for a guarantee. This moment there is no love, and you guarantee for the future, because only through that guarantee can you deceive at this moment. You can create a beautiful picture of the future, and you can hide the ugly picture of the present. You say, "Yes, I will love you forever and ever. Even death will not part us." What nonsense! What insincerity! How can you do this? You can do this, and you do it so easily because you are not aware of what you are saying. The next moment is unknown. Where it will lead, no one knows. What will happen, no one knows. No one can know it. Unknowability is part of the future game. How can you guarantee? At the most you can say, "I love you this moment, and this moment I feel. This is a feeling of this moment, that even death cannot part us." But this is a feeling of the moment. This is not a guarantee. This moment I feel like saying that I will always and always love you, but this is a feeling of the moment. This is no guarantee. What will happen in the future, nobody knows. We never knew about this moment, so how can we know about other moments? We will have to wait. We will have to be prayerful that it happens, that I love you forever and ever, but this is not a guarantee. Perfect sincerity cannot give any guarantee. Perfect sincerity is so sincere that it cannot promise. It gives whatever it can, here and now. Perfect sincerity lives in the present. It has no idea of the future. Mind moves in the future. Being lives here and now. And perfect sincerity belongs to the being, not to the mind. Love, truth, meditation, sincerity, simplicity, innocence, all belong to the being. The opposites belong to the mind, and to hide the opposites, the mind creates false coins. False sincerity, which guarantees, promises, false love, which is just a name for duty, false beauty, which is just a face for inner ugliness. Mind creates false coins, and nobody is deceived except yourself. Chuang Tzu is very rare. In a way, the most unique mystic in the whole history of man. His uniqueness is that he talks in absurdities. All his poems and stories are just absurd. And his reason to choose absurdity as his expression is very significant. The mind has to be silenced. With anything rational, it cannot stop. It goes on and on. Anything logical, and the mind finds nourishment through it. It is only the absurd that suddenly shocks the mind. It is beyond mind's grasp. His stories, his poems, and his other statements are so absurd that either people simply left him thinking that he is mad, those who are courageous enough to remain with him found that no other meditation is needed. Just listening to his absurd statements, the mind stops functioning. And that is the meaning of meditation. Meditation is not of the mind. Dhyana means the mind has been put aside. There is no concentration. There is no contemplation. There is no meditation. It is a state of no mind. It is absolute silence. Not even a small stirring of any thought. In the East, so many devices have been tried. How to stop the mind chattering continuously, how to bypass it, how to stop it, how to go beyond it. Chuang Tzu has his own unique contribution. He talks to his disciples in absurdities, and the mind cannot tackle them. The mind needs something reasonable, rational, logical. That is its territory. The absurd is beyond it. I have told you the famous story about Chuang Tzu. One morning he woke up with tears in his eyes, so sad and so depressed. His disciples had never seen him sad or depressed or with tears. He is an enlightened master. What has happened? They all rushed and inquired, "Can we be of some help?" Chuang Tzu said, "I don't think so." They said, "Still, we want to know what is the problem that is torturing you so much. You are beyond problems." Chuang Tzu said, "I used to be, but last night I saw a dream, and it has disturbed my whole attainment, achievement, self-realization, enlightenment. Everything has gone down the drain." They said, "Just a dream?" He said, "It was not just a dream, it has shattered me into pieces." They said, "Still, please tell us the dream." The dream was that Chuang Tzu saw that he had become a butterfly. All the disciples laughed. They said, "Unnecessarily being depressed and crying and tears and thinking that your enlightenment and self-realization have all gone down the drain. It is an ordinary dream, nothing to be worried about. In dreams people see themselves becoming many things, but a dream is a dream." Chuang Tzu said, "I understand that a dream is a dream. The problem is that I am worried. Who am I? If Chuang Tzu in his sleep can dream that he has become a butterfly in her dream can see that she has become Chuang Tzu. And now I am puzzled. Who am I? Chuang Tzu or a butterfly? If Chuang Tzu is capable of dreaming himself to be a butterfly, you cannot cancel the possibility of a butterfly taking a nap on the rose bushes and dreaming that she has become Chuang Tzu. Who can prevent her? And the question is, have I awakened, or is the butterfly dreaming that she is Chuang Tzu? You tell me who I am, the butterfly or Chuang Tzu?" And they were all at a loss. What to say? This man goes on finding such absurd things. Millions of people for millions of years have been dreaming, but nobody has raised this question. You have been dreaming, but have you ever raised this question? That when you wake up, perhaps it was the beginning of a new dream? What makes you so certain that you are not dreaming? In the dream, you were so certain that you are a butterfly, and now you are so certain that you are Chuang Tzu. There is no difference in certainty. In fact, when you are awake, the possibility of suspicion is there. You can doubt, but when you are dreaming, there is even no doubt at all, no suspicion, no question mark. You are simply a butterfly. He said, "Sit down and meditate and find out the answer. Who am I?" They looked at each other, how to meditate upon it, how to think about it. It is unthinkable. It is beyond the mind. His closest disciple, Lao Tzu, had gone out to the nearest village. He returned, he saw the whole scene, Zhuangzi in tears sitting on his bed, all the disciples with closed eyes, their minds completely stuck. What can the mind say about it? The question is absurd. He asked one of the disciples who was near the door, "What is the matter? It seems to be really serious. I've never seen such seriousness here. And why is our master crying? Has somebody died or something?" The disciple said, "He has created a new absurdity. Nobody has died, nothing has happened. He is torturing us and nothing else. Now we have to meditate upon it." And he told him the problem. Lao Tzu said, "Don't be worried, you meditate, I am coming." He went out, brought a bucket full of ice-cold water and poured it on Chuang Tzu. And Chuang Tzu said laughingly, "If you had been here before, you would have saved all these idiots. They are looking so serious, as if they are really thinking, and you would have saved my tears and my misery. Just wait, don't pour the water, it is too cold." Lao Tzu said, "Has your problem been solved or not?" Chuang Tzu said, "It is solved. You are my successor." It is not a question to be solved by the mind. The mind is absolutely impotent. Chuang Tzu has hundreds of stories, and he must have had a very strange kind of genius. Even to invent those stories is not easy, but his teaching was very simple. And those who remained with him all became enlightened. That is a rare phenomenon. He defeated even his own master, Lao Tzu. A few people became enlightened, but most of Lao Tzu's disciples remained in their old ignorance. He defeated Gautam Buddha. A few of his disciples became enlightened, but that was a very small proportion, because he had thousands of disciples, and not more than a dozen became enlightened. Chuang Tzu has a rare position in the history of mystics. All his disciples became enlightened. He would not leave you unless you had become enlightened. He was so much after you that finally people decided it was better to become enlightened. Every day new torture. The only way to save yourself is to become enlightened. But his method was very simple. And this poem, Anand Shanti, tells in a very aphoristic way his whole approach. Easy is right. Nobody has dared to say it ever. On the contrary, people make the right as difficult as possible. To you, who have all been conditioned by different traditions, the wrong is easy and the right is arduous. It needs training. It needs discipline. It needs repression. It needs renouncing the world. It needs renouncing the pleasures. Lies are easy. Truth is difficult. That is the common conditioning of humanity. But Chuang Tzu is certainly a man of tremendous insight. He says, easy is right. Then why have people been making right difficult? All your saints have been making right very difficult. There is a psychology behind it. Only the difficult is attractive to your ego. The more difficult the task, the more the ego feels challenged. Climbing Everest was difficult. Hundreds of people had died before Edmund Hillary reached the top alive. For the whole century, groups upon groups of mountaineers had been coming, and when Edmund Hillary reached, there was nothing to be found. Just at the very peak, there is not even space enough. Only one person can stand there on the highest point. He was asked, "What prompted you?" Knowing perfectly well that hundreds of mountaineers have lost their life during 100 years, not even their bodies have been found. Why did you try this dangerous project? He said, "I had to try. It was hurting my ego. I am a mountaineer. I love climbing mountains, and it was humiliating that there is Everest and nobody has been able to reach it. It is not a question of finding anything, but I feel so immensely happy." What is this happiness? You have not found anything. The happiness is that your ego has become more crystallized. You are the first man in the whole history who has reached Everest. Now nobody can take your place. Anybody who will reach there will be second, third, but you have made a mark on history. You are the first. You have not found anything, but you have found a deep nourishment for your ego. Perhaps Edmund Hillary himself is not aware of it. All the religions are making the right difficult, because the difficult is attractive to the ego. But the ego is not the truth. The ego is not right. Do you see the dilemma? The ego is attracted only towards the difficult. If you want people to become saints, you have to make your right, your truth, your discipline very difficult. The more difficult it is, the more egoists will be attracted, almost magnetically pulled. But the ego is not right. It is the worst thing that can happen to a man. And it cannot deliver to you the right, the truth. It can only make your ego stronger. Chuang Tzu is saying, in a simple statement, the most pregnant statement, easy is right, because for the easy, ego has no attraction. If you are going towards the easy, the ego starts dying. And when there is no ego left, you have arrived to your reality, the right, the truth. And truth and right have to be natural. Easy means natural. You can find them without any effort. Easy is right means natural is right. Effortlessness is right. Egolessness is right. Begin right and you are easy. Continue easy and you are right. They are two sides of the same coin. If, beginning to live a right life, you find it difficult, then remember, it is not right. If, living the right, your life becomes more and more easy, more and more let go, flowing with the stream. Going against the stream is difficult, but going with the stream is not difficult. So either choose the easiest things in life, the most natural things in life, and you will be right. Or if you want to begin the other way, remember the criterion that the right has to produce easiness in you, relaxedness in you. Continue easy and you are right. Never forget for a moment that the difficult is the food for the ego, and the ego is the barrier that makes you blind to see, makes you deaf to hear, makes your heart hard to open, makes it impossible for you to love, to dance, and to sing. Continue easy. Your whole life should be an easy phenomenon. Then you will not be creating the ego. You will be a natural being, just ordinary. And to Chuang Tzu, and to me also, the ordinary is the most extraordinary. The people who are trying to be extraordinary have missed the goal. Just be ordinary. Just be nobody. But all your conditionings are so corrupting. They corrupt you. They say, to be easy is to be lazy. To be ordinary is humiliating. If you don't try for power, for prestige, for respectability, then your life is meaningless. That has been forced into your mind. Chuang Tzu, in these simple statements, is taking away all of your conditionings. Never for a moment get attracted toward the difficult. It will make you somebody, a prime minister, a president, but it will not make you divine. Easy is divine. And the last part is something never to be forgotten. The right way to go easy is to forget the right way, because even to remember it is an uneasiness. The right way to go easy is to forget the right way, and forget that the going is easy. What is the need of remembering these things? Relax to such a point that you are as natural as the trees and the birds. You will not find in the birds that somebody is a saint and somebody is a sinner. You will not find in the trees that somebody is virtuous and somebody full of vice. Everything is easy, so easy that you need not remember it. I agree with Chuang Tzu, with absolute, unconditional, categorical attunement. I would have loved to meet Chuang Tzu if I were given the opportunity to meet one of the mystics of the whole of human history. Chuang Tzu would be my choice. I have named this place Chuang Tzu Auditorium. He was very much misunderstood. It is obvious, because he was destroying all the priests, all the popes, all the imams, all the Shankaracharyas. He was destroying the so-called great commandments for being right, and destroying them so easily. He was one of the most natural men the world has ever seen. He is not given any discipline, he is not given any doctrine, he is not given any catechism. He has simply explained one thing, that if you can be natural and ordinary, just like the birds and the trees, you will blossom. You will have your wings open in the vast sky. You don't have to be saints. Saints are very tense, more tense than sinners. I have known both, and if there is a choice, I will choose the sinners as company rather than the saints. Saints are the worst company because their eyes are full of judgment about everything. You should do this and you should not do that, and they start dominating you, condemning you, humiliating you, insulting you, because what they are doing is the right and what you are doing is not the right thing. They poison your nature so badly that if real criminals have to be found, they will be found in your saints, not in your sinners. Your sinners have not done much harm to anybody. Chuang Tzu is right that if you feel any tension, then remember, whatever you are doing is not right. And he is the only man who has given such a beautiful criterion. Easy is right. Begin right and you are easy. Continue easy and you are right. The right way is to go easy, is to forget the right way and forget that the going is easy. Relax into nobodiness. And this is also my message to my sannyasins. Be natural. You don't have to be Christians. You don't have to be Hindus. You don't have to be Mohammedans. These are all ways of creating difficulties. You just have to be natural, like trees and birds and animals. Become part of this relaxed universe. So relaxed that you forget all about easiness and you forget all about rightness. To me, this is enlightenment. Nature and to be natural. Effortlessly natural, spontaneously natural. Chuang Tzu says, it is better not to start because once you start, it has to be completed. Understand and don't move in a vicious circle. That is why I say that Chuang Tzu is a rare flowering, rarer than a Buddha or a Jesus, because he achieved simply by understanding. There is no method, no meditation for Chuang Tzu. He says, simply understand the facticity of it. You are born. What effort have you made to be born? You grow. What effort have you made to grow? You breathe. What effort have you made to breathe? Everything moves on its own, so why bother? Let life flow on its own, then you will be in a let go. Don't struggle, and don't try to move upstream. Don't even try to swim. Just float with the current, and let the current lead you wherever it leads. Be a white cloud moving in the sky. No goal, going nowhere, just floating. That floating is the ultimate flowering. The first thing to understand about Chuang Tzu, before we enter his sutras, is be natural. Everything unnatural has to be avoided. Don't do anything that is unnatural. Nature is enough. You cannot improve upon it. But the ego says, no, you can improve upon nature. That is how all culture exists. Any effort to improve upon nature is culture, and culture is like a disease. The more a man is cultured, the more dangerous he is. Once civilization comes in, we are lost. Nature is lost once you make an effort to improve upon it. That means you are trying to improve upon God. All religions are trying to do that, to improve upon God. Chuang Tzu is not in favor of that. He says nature is ultimate, and that ultimate nature he calls Tao. Tao means that nature is ultimate and cannot be improved. If you try to improve upon it, you will cripple it. That is how we cripple every child. Every child is born in Tao. Then we cripple him with society, civilization, culture, morality, religion. We cripple him from every side. Then he lives, but he is not alive. The more cultured and civilized, the more dead. If you want to see perfectly dead men, and yet still alive, Go to the monk in the monasteries. Go to the priests in the churches. Go to the Pope in the Vatican. They are not alive. They are so afraid of life, so afraid of nature, that they have suppressed it from everywhere. They are already in their graves. You can paint the grave. You can even make a marble grave, very valuable, but the man inside is dead. Culture kills you. Culture is a murderer. Culture is a slow poison. It is suicide. Chuang Tzu and his old master Lao Tzu are against culture. They are for nature, pure nature. Trees are in a better position than you. Even birds, fishes in the river, are in a better position, because they are more alive, and they dance more to the rhythm of nature. You have completely forgotten what nature is. You have condemned it to the very root. And if you want to condemn nature, you have to start by condemning sex, because the whole of nature arises out of it. The whole of nature is an overflowing of sex energy, of love. The birds sing, the trees flower. This is all sexual energy, exploding. Flowers are sex symbols. The singing of the birds is sexual. The whole of Tao is nothing but sex energy. The whole of nature propagates itself, loves itself, moves into deeper ecstasies of love and existence. If you want to destroy nature, condemn sex, condemn love, create moral concepts about life. Those moral concepts, howsoever beautiful they look, will be like marble graves, and you will be there inside them. Some drunkard may think that you know what life is, that you know how to live, but anyone who is in his state of awareness is in no state even to call you alive. Your morality is a sort of death. Before death kills you, society kills you. That is why Chuang Tzu's message is one of the most dangerous, the most revolutionary, the most rebellious. Because he says, allow nature, and don't give any goal to nature. Who are you to create goals and purposes? You are just a tiny part, an atomic cell. Who are you to force the whole to move according to you? This is most dangerous for people who are religious, for people who are moralistic Puritans. This is the most dangerous message. This means break all the barriers, allow nature to erupt, dangerous as it is. Priests are afraid of health because health is immoral in their eyes. You may or may not have heard of one of the thinkers of this century, a German thinker very famous in his day, Count Kaiserling. He was thought to be a great religious philosopher, and he wrote in his diary, "Health is the most immoral thing." Because health is energy. Energy is delight. Energy is enjoyment, love, sex. Energy is everything that is natural. Destroy the energy, make it feeble and dim. Religious people have always thought that health is dangerous, that to be unhealthy becomes a spiritual goal. I repeat again, Chuang Tzu is very rebellious. He says nature, energy, and the ecstasy that comes by overflowing, and the balance that happens spontaneously, is enough. There is no need for effort. So much beauty happens all around in nature without any effort. A rose is beautiful without any effort. A cuckoo keeps on singing without any effort. Look at a deer, alive, full of energy, fast. Look at a hare, so alert, so aware, that even a Buddha may become jealous. Look at nature. It is all so perfect. Can you improve upon a rose? Can you improve on nature in any way? Only man has gone wrong somewhere. If the rose is beautiful without any effort on its part, why not man? What is wrong with man? If stars remain beautiful without any effort, without any of Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, why not man? Man is part of nature, just as the stars are. So Chuang Tzu says, be natural and you will flower. If this understanding enters you deeper and deeper and deeper, then all effort becomes meaningless. Then you are not constantly making arrangements for the future. Then you live here and now. Then this moment is all. Then this moment is eternity. And Buddhahood is already the case. You are already a Buddha. The only thing that is missing is you have not given it any chance to flower because you are so engaged in your own projects. A flower flowers without any effort because the energy is not dissipated in any projects. The flower is not planning for the future. The flower is here and now. Be like a flower, be like a bird, be like a tree, a river, or the ocean, but don't be like a man. Because man has gone wrong somewhere. Thank you very much for listening.